changing pay days. Now, there could be a situation wherein due to some business requirement, the frequency could be changed from monthly to weekly or weekly to monthly or semi-monthly or any other option like quarterly, annually or bi-weekly, okay, semi-monthly, bi-monthly. Okay, it could be any situation. Normally, between financial year, if you want to change the pay frequency, okay, not pay frequency, you can only switch between weekly to monthly or monthly to weekly in between, okay, in a financial year. Okay, for example, after 2 months, 3 months, or in between any time you want to change it. So you can only switch weekly to monthly, monthly to weekly. Okay, if you want to change any other frequency, the better option is to start, like you can do only start of the financial year. Okay, and also it is recommended normally said that pay days or pay frequency should be changed during new financial year. It is easier. Now moving your payday, if there is a change of payday also, like it could be from 25th to 30th, is changing or 30th to 25th. So what will be the changing how often you pay your employees? Okay, this is frequency, what I told. Using basic pay tools, what will be the importance of basic pay tools in changing the payday or frequency? Paying your employee more often, paying your employees less often. This is something we'll see. What is this topic? Annual payroll scheme for pay. Changing annual payroll scheme. You remember I told you you can pick an option. You can say that this employee will be receiving annual salary like director. Okay, something regarding that. Changing when you pay your employees. Okay, like pay date. So moving your payday. Paydays can be moved to a different day or can be changed the number of times you pay your employees. Okay. The date can be changed or the frequency. In the payday falls within the same tax month or week as the previous one, consider the first new payment as an extra payment for that period. Okay. Now this is little tricky. So let me explain you what. For example, if the new payday falls within the same tax month or week, it could be monthly payroll or weekly payroll. So now let's see two examples. Okay, I will share Excel screen. Can you see my Excel file or it is only the normal screen? Can you see it now? For example, April month and May month. In April, pay date was 15th. May also it was 15th. Now, what you're doing, you are changing from May itself. Okay, now you want to make it after the payroll. Okay, after payroll, you decided to change the pay date to 30th. Okay, there will be a second pay date for this month. So what will happen? Till 15th you have paid. Now 30th, what you have to do? Some companies pay 16 to 15th. It could be possible. Then when you decide a second pay date on 30th, you will need to pay these 15 days, right? 16 to 30th. Payroll cycle will also change and pay date will also change. But here what mistake we are doing, we are changing in May month itself after the payroll date. We should have changed before. So this is a mistake type of case. Like this is a case where it could go wrong. Okay, that is the reason I'm explaining you. If it is fine, if you're changing on time, like after 15th April, you know that you not need to change. So you directly change it to 30th. Okay, there will be no 15 in between. So what will happen? In this case, I'll just give you an example. Okay, then what you'll have to do, you'll need to pay some advance payment to employee for some days. Okay, that is 15 days or whatever days, because there's a gap of 1.5 months now. Okay, and then you can adjust that amount later on. You can just you can pay 1.5 months salary, and whatever you have paid as advance, you can deduct it later on. Okay? So this way employee will not feel a pain because we have done this. So that's the reason I'm explaining you. Okay, so what will happen now? May pay date has been passed. Now company decide, let's do it 30th. So what will company will have to process at least something in 30th if they want to change. Otherwise, they can do it in a June, but they cannot wait till June. They want to do it now only. This is a mistake. Okay, what will happen? This will be the financial month. You do FPS. This will be an additional cycle. It will be considered as extra payment, on which extra tax will be paid by the employee. That is a mistake. Okay, that's the reason it is not recommended. Okay, and same situation could be in a week. Okay, you can just imagine something like this. Earlier the pay date was Monday. Okay, now you're changing the pay date to Friday. So Monday you already paid the employee. Now again on Friday you have to pay. Understand? That is the same week. So now Friday payment will be extra payment. An employee will need to pay extra tax. Now you read this. Now you'll understand. If the new payday falls within the same tax month or week as the previous one. Okay, so here previous one is 15th. New one is 30th. Consider the first new payment as an extra payment. Now this is the first new payment. That is 30th is the first new payment. Okay, this is an extra payment for that period. Okay, if the new payday falls in a different tax month or week, the process of reporting is almost same. Okay, as I said, if it is April, we are changing it in June, then it is not a problem. The only thing is you need to think how to fill this gap, how to give advance payment and what you need to give, because employee cannot survive for 45 days without salary. That is a process. Understood? Adding new pay date to the this may happen in India also. Okay, in any other country also it may happen, but UK it is considered extra payment. That is I'm not sure about other countries, but this could be the situation. Okay. Aligning new pay date to the correct tax period. Normally HR team does that, convincing employee, and some countries, one country like Romania, I know, you need acknowledgement from all the employees. They accept it, then only you can change it. If there is an incorrect payday or changed payday, then you must realign your FPS payment date. That is fine. Okay, this is due to incorrect reporting. Okay, so if there is an incorrect payday or changed payday, then you must realign your FPS payment date with the tax month or week. Okay, it could be possible that you have sent incorrect pay date, then also you have to correct it, or it could be possible that you have not reported the change pay date. You have changed the pay date, but you have not reported to HMRC. By mistake, you have put the incorrect payment date. That also you will need to correct it, align it. When you send a full payment submission to HMRC HMRC, you must include the date you paid your employees. Okay, that is important. Whenever you're changing payday, ensure that you're sending the correct payday to the HMRC. Realigning the payment date of FPS with the tax month or week depends on, okay, if you want to realign the payment date of FPS, if there is a change in payday of employees, okay, then only you'll need to realign. Okay, if it is and in this situation, it will be changed. Or even if you change the frequency, definitely the pay date will change. Okay. If the date you ran payroll mentioned in the FPS is different from the date related to the tax month, example, you processed payroll on 4th October before paying your employees on 7th. Because you used a payment date of 4th on your FPS, the report is incorrectly assigned to the previous month. Why? Because HMRC knows that you always pay on 7th. So anything before 7th, it means it is a previous cycle for HMRC. We are talking about the problems also here. We are not talking only about the changes, so that you know how to change and what details you can consider, like what is important. Okay. If the next FPS is due in the same tax period, send another FPS on or before your employee's payday, the correct payment date. Okay. For example, now you have sent 4th October. Okay. You have to correct it to 7th October. Otherwise, it will be previous cycle. And for example, in the same week, there is a new pay date. By mistake, you are changing the pay date in the same week. Okay. So you have to send another, you have to send this before that next payment. For example, 10th October, there is a new payment which will go off. Due to the pay date change. So before 10th, you have to send this new FPS. Sorry, correct FPS to HMRC. Now, this is an extra payment for the employee for which they need to pay more tax for this period. Understand what I told you? This is extra payment, considered as extra payment in that same month. So what will happen? How they will there will be extra payment? Can you use the logic? Because in the same period, there will be considered 2 salaries. If your next FPS is due in the following tax period, send an FPS with the correct payment date on or before your employee's next payday as normal, mentioning year-to-date figures. Okay, that is fine. When realigning payroll, you don't need to report your employee's pay for a tax month or week if the next FPS is due in a later tax period. Okay, when you realign payroll, you don't need to report your employee's pay for a tax month or week if the next FPS is due in a later period. Like there could be a situation wherein there is a frequency change and for 2 periods there will be no pay date. Okay. You don't need to send FPS. Or else you can send an EPS and inform the HMRs. Okay, then EPS will be sent together. Okay, that is because, for example, from weekly, we are changing to bi-weekly. There will be 2 periods now. Correcting employees' national insurance. This is the next topic. Okay, so correcting employees' national insurance. If you need to skip a tax month or week, then send an additional FPS to correct your employees' national insurance at the same time or after realigning your payroll. Okay, so if you need to change employees' national insurance, so just wait for the FPS. Okay, that is fine because anyways you're not reporting anything. So in between, so you can wait. That is fine. Okay, national insurance category. Use the same national insurance category letter that you sent on previous FPS. If you used more than one, okay, send another FPS with the same year-to-date figures for the category letters you did not use. Okay, for example, you have used multiple NI category by mistake in the same financial year. So correct it now. Send the correct year-to-date figures and with the correct category data. Gross earnings for NIC in this period will be 0 because you're just correcting the NI category. Same way, all the field of NIC that we have seen in FPS topics.